So I'm going to release my first album, and it's not only the first album I release using the name Deep Space Ocean, it's also the first album I ever made. I made this album about 25 years ago, and I started writing and recording the first songs in the mid-90s and finished the album in the early 2000s. I did this because I had a dream to make an album. I had played in bands and recorded music before, but I wanted to do something completely personal. I never intended to get a record deal back then. I like doing things myself, and I wanted to be free to do whatever I wanted to do. So I finished the songs and released the album. This meant I burned a few CDRs and uploaded the music to sites like mp3.com and MySpace. It never got a real proper release. It was never registered anywhere as a real release. I got the idea earlier this year that I want to release lots of music. I have hundreds and hundreds of finished and unfinished songs just waiting to be released. I've only released 2 songs, 2 singles, using the name Deep Space Ocean, and before I have mostly recorded songs and put them on SoundCloud, and I've not done anything really serious with the music. Back then I used a different artist name for this album, and that name got stolen over and over again. I found several blogs with that name, and when I wanted to release the music earlier this year, I checked Spotify. It turns out that someone released music last year using this name, and this artist also had a track name which was exactly the same name as one of my old tracks, but it wasn't the same song, but it had the same name. So I decided to use my new project name Deep Space Ocean for this album when I release it for real now, and I will keep releasing old and new stuff using that name. It doesn't matter what genre it is, I will still use the same project name. So I have added the artist name Deep Space Ocean to the old songs on STIM, the Swedish performing rights organization, and I have uploaded it to my distributor, which means that they have gotten their ISRC codes, which makes it a bit of a more real release. I will also make CDs. I will probably also make cassettes at a later point in time. I will not make vinyl right now because it's super expensive. When I got the idea to make physical copies, I looked it up and only found bad options for me right now. If I want the best quality, I will need to make 300 of them at least, and then I will risk sitting on 300 plastic discs no one wants to buy, as Trent Reznor called them. If I order fewer than 300, the cost per CD will be too high. So those are not options for me right now. I still want to make this a real release, so I looked around at home and realized I have most of the stuff that I need. I have a CD burner, a printer that can print on CDs, printable CDs. So all I needed to buy was CDs, jewel cases, a paper cutter, and the right paper for the booklet. I emailed NCB, which is the place where you apply to release music on physical copies, and asked them if I can just do it all myself. And they replied that yes, of course you can. Many artists are doing this. So that's what I'm going to do. There will be an 8-page booklet with lyrics, art, and a few words about the making of the album. And I will just make the CDs as I need them. If anyone wants a CD, I will just create it. A positive thing about that is that I can edit the artwork and the packaging as I go. Right now it's jewel cases and an 8-page booklet. Maybe later on I will be experimenting with digipacks and making the whole packaging a piece of art of its own. When I started thinking about this, I thought that I can make cassettes too, and I probably will. I'm doing all this because I think it's fun. I like making things. I've always liked making things. And it's always been centered around music. in particular, but also pictures, moving pictures, and words. So maybe later I will make a bigger booklet with more stories about the songs in it. The album will be released May 3rd on streaming services, and 3 days before that it will be released on Bandcamp as a CD, and also a pack of digital files, music files, the artwork, and a special PDF with art and more of the story than I can fit in the booklets. So what about the music? It's about 20 to 25 years old. Some of the songs I still like a lot, especially an experimental electronic track which is over 16 minutes long. But most songs are about 3 or 4 minutes. Some songs are ordinary songs with lyrics, and some songs are techno. I have one industrial track in there, and some more experimental stuff. I'm thinking this will be the first of many releases, as I will focus on not only finishing old songs but also recording new songs. I like the whole process. It's what I've always been doing. I don't see a reason to stop, so I'll just keep going. I will keep posting about this online. You won't be able to miss it. If you miss the release date, don't worry, I will be going on and on about it for the next couple of weeks. I hope I won't bore you too much with it. I'm looking forward to releasing this album and all future albums. So April 30th will be the release day for the CD and the digital version of the album on Bandcamp. And May 3rd it will be out on streaming platforms. Bye. Así que... Voilà.